Thanks, Alexa. Thanks everyone for joining. As Dave said, my name is Mike Kachi. I am the Regional Sales Director with Square Nine Softworks, and I support the great folks over at Paperless. So what I wanted to do today, or my goal for today, is really quickly introduce you to our platform, hit on a couple highlights, so just a couple slides to walk you through that. And then we're going to look at, as David mentioned, some real world examples of how people can use our solution to solve business problems. So I'm going to go ahead and share out my screen. Let me know if everyone can see my screen okay. Excellent. So a quick introduction to who Square Nine is. So if you were to ask kind of one sentence who we are, it would be, we provide software solutions that support an organization's digital transformation strategy. Really what that means is we help organizations move from manual or more paper-based processes to more digital processes, taking out some of the costs, driving some return on investment. Excuse me. We are headquartered in New Haven, Connecticut. We offer solutions as cloud, premise, and hybrid. So depending on your requirements internally, we can deploy the solution based to meet those needs. As an organization, we are SOC 1, SOC 2, and HIPAA certified. That just means that in our cloud platform, we've put in together all the controls and policies and procedures to make sure your data is safe. And then from a size, we support over 3,000 public and private sector organizations with our solutions. Kind of taking a look at our platform is broken up into 4 key modules. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. Just wanted to introduce this to you because when we go through the demonstration, I will or may use terms like global forms or global search, and just want to let you know what that's about. So Global Capture is our capture platform. This is how we automate ingestion of information and data extraction. So eliminating that kind of manually keying of information that you may be going through today. Global Actions, our business process engine. So any kind of process automation, notifications. We'll talk about this a little bit with one of the forms we'll look at, which we'll jump ahead a little bit. Ways to automate review and approval of information in the case of a form. Global Search is our content management repository. Again, this is something we'll look at today, specifically around managing public information. So giving municipalities a way to present a self-service portal for information through our Global Search platform. And the last is our web forms tool called Global Forms. We're going to take a look at our forms solution today, specifically around requests for information. So we'll walk through what that process may look like. And again, that self-service concept for municipalities or any organization that wants to allow their clients, customers, constituents to make requests so that it's not a manual process. The last thing I'll hit on is I'm going to talk and say a lot of great stuff about us throughout the presentation, but we really focus on what our customers say about us. And there's 3 big social proof sites where customers can go and talk about their experience with software applications. Those are G2, TrustRadius, and Capterra. We've got some great awards there. I would encourage anyone to go in and take a look and see what our customers say about us, because really that's the best. The best praise we can get is people that are actually using our software and what their experience has been. So I'm going to hop out of here and jump into the application. And I'm going to start with our global forms tool. So right now you should see my screen and it should say global forms here and solutions gallery. The starting screen here really, this is a tool we have out on our site, and I'm happy to work with the folks at Paperless to share this out so that you can take a look and peruse through what we call our solutions gallery. And what our solutions gallery is a gallery of sample forms, or global forms, if I recall the term I used earlier, that solve various business problems in various industries and verticals. So this is just a great opportunity for you as an organization to take a look and see the kind of business problems we can solve with our forms tool. In today's demonstration, I'm going to focus on our OPRA request form and actually walk through this in real time. This is something that you can do also if you want to kind of play around with it yourselves. So if I click on the view, it's going to go ahead and open up this form in a browser. To talk a little bit about what this experience is and what the user experience may look like. As a municipality that may be looking for a OPRA request form, this is something that can be published as a direct link from your site, as an example. So constituents can go click on a link. That link would take them to a web-based form that would allow them to make that request for public records right from their browser. So without having to leave home, they can go ahead and click the link that's published on your site, and it'll go ahead and bring up this form. Now, I'm talking about OPRA requests, but these could be any kind of requests that an organization may have. They can also be things like in the case of like accounts payable, maybe it's a W-9 upload. So you're onboarding a new vendor. This could be an online W-9 form. So it can really span the gamut of types of functionality. But again, for today, we're going to focus on the OPRA request. So when we look at the user experience, a user would, as I mentioned, click on the link, bring them to the form, and they just go ahead and fill out their information. Fields can be marked as mandatory, as you can see by the little red asterisks, or not mandatory, as you can see in the case of things like a middle name. An individual would go ahead and fill out the information. I'm going to reset that. If all the fields are not completed, they can't move forward. In the case of this form, I have to apply a signature to it. So I'll go ahead and sign that with my mouse. If this were a phone or tablet, I could go ahead and sign with my finger. Once I do that, I go to my next step, and then I'll select what I'm requesting. Maybe it's a copy of minutes, or maybe it's a public, or it's an accident, right? I can select the things that I might be looking for. A crash at Main Street. And next, now there's some things I need to acknowledge. Acknowledging that. Review my request. And if everything looks good, this is what I want. I just hit submit. And that request gets submitted. I mentioned earlier, we have some workflow tools and business process tools. Those would then pick up in the background, send notifications to the appropriate departments that they have something they need to act on. They would then act on that request and then fulfill based upon what was stated in the request. In this case, it was pick up the documents. So someone may then, print out the documents or whatever that process may look like, and have the person pick them up. They could also have been things that were delivered back through a link. So we could also publish a link. If these are digital documents, we can publish a link from our system that expires. So the constituent would then get an email with a link that's available for 7 days. They click on the link, they view the document, they download it, that then expires in 7 days. So there's lots of ways that we can then deliver that information that also build on that digital transformation strategy and that kind of self-service portal and self-service concept of a form request. So I did want to switch gears here. We talked about the forms and the public request. The other thing that I did want to hit on today, and this is actually a real world example, is giving constituents true public access to information. So there may be information like plots and plans that are public access that people want to have access to. So rather than have to go through the process of requesting, you can actually, as a municipality, have this information publicly accessible from your site. For private sector individuals, this is things we could do, maybe like AR invoices that can be posted. So a company could go in and actually view their AR invoices and download those versus having to email them out or constantly contact your customers with invoice information. But in this case, I'm going to focus on these property files, and I'm going to start with the town of Bethany. This is actually a real life customer, Quinnipiac Valley Health District in Connecticut. There's the concept of a health district. What they do is they manage files. So property files like if you view like daycare centers, restaurants, beauticians that have to do health inspections, as well as things like septic system plans for septic systems, what those look like. So in this case, I'm going to click on the Bethany Files link. This is going to go ahead and bring us into that global search. Global search, again, is our content management repository. And this is where these public records are posted. So as a constituent, I'm looking for public records for the town of Bethany. And I'm looking specifically for a street record. Maybe I want to look for 42 Myers Road. So I go ahead and type in 42 Myers. That's going to go ahead and bring back the documents for that specific property. If I click on the little page here, it's going to go ahead and bring up that file for me. So I can now view and look through that file. If I wanted to open that up fully in my browser, I can go ahead and double click it. Opens up that file. I can now review that. I can view the thumbnail pages. I also have the option for things like printing that file out or downloading that file right from here. The value that really this is going to provide, and specifically in this this scenario, is in today's world, someone goes to the town, they talk to somebody in person, they say, I'm looking for the plans for the septic system for 42 Myers Road. Somebody has to go down to the basement, find that file, make copies of it, bring it up, give it to the person. In the new scenario, after having a solution like this in place, an individual simply clicks on a link from your site that brings them to a search field. They type in the information that they're looking for, run that search, and it brings back that document, eliminating all that cost, that difficulty, and that time that a constituent has to take to go ahead and find that information, and gives them a simple way to search, view, print, email, download that document from the site. So those are just two things I wanted to hit on today, focused around public sector. First being the request for public records. And that was available through our forms library. And the second being the ability to have public records available for constituents to search as a self-service portal. At this point, I'm going to pause and see if there's any questions that have come up on either one of these topics. Happy to talk more about it, dig a little deeper, if there's things that people would like to talk through.
Nothing yet, Mike.
Okay. The other thing I guess we'll quickly hit on, and I had mentioned this earlier on when we talked about the freedom, the open public records request form. I had mentioned that that could be a process where the people get notified internally. Maybe they actually pull a file and physically deliver it to somebody. But if we piggyback our open request process with the global search system, what we can do is actually have that request be fulfilled through publishing, as I mentioned earlier, a secure link that expires. So as an employee of the municipality, I could fulfill that request by simply selecting that file, going ahead and sharing out a link from the global search system via email to the person that requested it, and giving that full end-to-end process, eliminating that need for people to come to the town and manually pull files and view files. So yeah, that's what I intended to cover today. If there's some questions, happy to stay on and address those. If not, I would encourage everyone to reach out to Dave and his team at Paperless, and they can absolutely help you, walk through your discovery process, review your current situation, and propose solutions to streamline any process that you may have as you go on your digital transformation journey.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mike. Such an amazing solution that has helped so many of our customers. Really looking forward to seeing how it can help all the organizations, on this call and then in the future as well. So,
Great.
thanks everyone. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Thanks a lot. Take care.